Hello, welcome to another edition of Only in Illinois, your weekly video recap from Reboot Illinois. I'm Madeline Dubeck.
And I'm Matt Dietrich.
And of course, this week we want to talk about the historic pension reform bill that became law by the barest of vote margins. 2 votes to spare in the House and no votes to spare in the Senate. And your intrepid Reboot executive editor, Matt Dietrich, was there for all of the action on Tuesday, starting with a committee hearing at 8:30 in the morning that was not as well attended as you expected. Tell us a little bit about what that was like.
No, I went there expecting there to be large crowds, and sometimes in these committee hearings it can be very crowded, and if you're not there real early you don't get in. I got there about an hour before it was supposed to start, went right in, it never really filled up, and it was somewhat anticlimactic, and we pretty much knew what everyone who was testifying at the hearing was going to say, and really this wasn't a hearing where they were going to take a vote at the end and pass something on to the floor for a vote. The bill had already been vetted through the committee process. This was just an airing of the report by the Pension Reform Committee and the airing of objections from labor.
Okay, and so then later on in the afternoon you sat in on the House debate about the bill itself, and
Right.
Are there some highlights from that? I mean, one thing that we noticed that we thought was interesting was we had running mates in the Republican governor's race taking opposite positions on the bill. Kirk Dillard is running for governor, and he's a state senator, and he ended up opposing the bill. His running mate for lieutenant governor, Jill Tracy, was actually on the pension conference committee, and
Right.
so voted in support of the bill. Other quick highlights from the debate that you listened to?
Well, the overall highlight from the debate, as far as I was concerned, was Speaker Madigan's forcefulness throughout it. He was on the floor throughout the process, which was, pretty long. It was a good hour or so of debate, and lots of questions, especially from the Republican side, directly to Speaker Madigan about what's in the bill. Can we amend the bill now to add this into it? The answer was no. And what does the bill do and what does it not do? And Speaker Madigan was very emphatic. He gave a fairly long preamble about why he believed they needed to pass this bill. And normally Speaker Madigan, stays out of the public eye,
Right.
and he was very, very much in the spotlight on this one and very forceful on it too.
Okay, so the governor signed the bill into law as soon as possible, and very privately and quietly, because this is such a difficult topic and an emotional
Correct.
one, taking benefits away from hundreds of thousands of state workers and teachers and others around the state, corrections officers, state police, everybody. And we expect a lawsuit, and what now? We will be covering that, of course, and bring you more on that, but what's the outlook?
As we speak today, the law was signed yesterday. There's been no lawsuit filed as of this very minute. It's expected any day now. The unions have said they would file a suit immediately upon Governor Quinn's signature, which has already happened. The question now is, where will they file it? Will it be in Sangamon County, Circuit Court, Cook County? Where could this be? We don't know that yet. We also don't know now the time frame. How long will it take a circuit judge to issue a ruling, and then how long will it take, and what path will it take? Will it go directly from the circuit level directly to the state Supreme Court? Will it go through an appellate court first? All of that is unknown now, but what we do know is that this is going to go before the Illinois Supreme Court, and it is a pretty big question, because the Constitution is very explicit about you cannot diminish benefits. This bill does diminish benefits, although it gives some what they call consideration back to the employees, and the bill also contains a preamble that makes a case that we're in an emergency here, therefore the emergency supersedes the language of the Constitution. How the Supreme Court will rule on that, we don't know.
Okay, so lots more questions to answer and a lot more work to do to get the state back on track and fix its finances. As we said in an editorial this week, this is really only step 1, and we may be back at step 0 if the court doesn't uphold this law. So we'll keep paying attention to that and all the other issues around reform in Illinois, and we'll catch you on the next edition of Only in Illinois. Thank you.